Good evening, everybody. This is Davey Jones. We are live from our Bucyrus Pizza Hut with Coach's Corner West on the WQEL YouTube page. We've got Bucyrus and Buckeye Central on tap tonight, and we'll be talking some basketball with Coach Phil Joseph, who's been coaching basketball at Bucyrus since 1896 in the general area?
You're pretty close.
Pretty close there. And Coach is going to be talking a little bit about basketball. We've also got a couple players aboard. We're going to get some tales coming your way in just one moment. Our show is brought to you on WQEL YouTube by Doug Ludehold and Associates and Advanced Fiber Technology. Coach Tim Plumley, Mohegan Sports Medicine and Rehabilitation. Matt Studer at Spitzer, Chrysler Dodge, Jeep Ram Kia, just 1 mile east of the Richland Mall. Rob Lust at Edgefield Animal Clinic in Marion. Matt Ramsey, John Ziegler, Drew Young, Frank Hyman, and everybody at Bucyrus Blades, serving rural line markets since 1951. And Roger Brown at Links Lock and Safe, South Poplar Street at West Warren, Bucyrus. Getting the basketball season underway right now. We've got the Bucyrus boys program on right now, and assistant varsity coach Phil Joseph, who seriously hasn't been with the program for quite a long time. Phil, what was it first?
Yeah, I came to Bucyrus in 1980.
1980?
And I've been coaching there ever since.
Ever since. You had a little time at Galleon before that, right?
Well, I was back in 1972 to 73. That's where I met my wife. She was worked the YMCA there in Galleon.
Okay.
I was coaching basketball, and we just hit it off.
All right. And did you coach between those periods of time, between 73 and 80?
My first coaching job was at Maysville High School. It's in South Zanesville. I'm originally from Zanesville, Ohio.
Okay.
And I coached there for a year. Then I went to Galleon for 2 years. I coached 1969 to 70 at Maysville. Then I went to Galleon for 2 years. Then I went to Utica for 2 years as a head basketball coach. And after that, I was at North Catholic in Newark, Ohio for 6 years as a head basketball coach. And I came to Bucyrus in 1980 as a head basketball coach.
All right. You spent several years. In fact, you had some success back in the early 1980s.
Yeah, we were fortunate. We had some good players and stuff like that. And it worked pretty well. When I was at North Catholic, we took a team to the regionals.
All right.
And we had a really good season that way. So it's been enjoyable. And I'm thankful, for people in Bucyrus, because for the last 40 or 50 years, I've been able to follow my passion coaching basketball.
Right.
And that's one of the things I always wanted to do. And because of our administration, school board, and everybody else in the community, I was able to do that here in Bucyrus.
All right. What was the unique selling proposition in Bucyrus? You stayed here a long time. Why? I mean, you could have moved on.
I could have, but my wife's from Galleon originally, and when we came up here, her mother wasn't doing real well. She was by herself, so my wife took care of her. I got my kids in school up here, and they were having a good time, and I didn't want to be one of these coaches to move your family every 4 or 5, 6 years.
Yeah.
Maybe some people do that. And some coaches enjoy that, and it works out well for their family. And there's nothing wrong with that. I just didn't want to do that. I was comfortable teaching. I liked the people in the community. We had friends. My mother-in-law was just over in Galleon, and my family was basically down in Zanesville, which wasn't too far away from here. So,
What's the attraction of Bucyrus? I mean, I'm a little bit like you. I've been here for over 50 years now. What is the attraction about this community?
well, I would say, first of all, it's the people. I mean, they're friendly people here. They care for each other. It's a small community, and I tell people in Bucyrus, we have the same thing they have in Columbus, except we have one of everything.
Yeah, pretty much.
We have one Mexican restaurant. They may have a dozen down there. We got
one
baker.
McDonald's, one Wendy's.
Yeah, one baker, like a sports bar and stuff like that, and there might be 15 or 20 of them down in Columbus, probably a lot more than that.
Of course, we got a Pizza Hut too, Coach.
Yeah, we got Pizza Hut. We got, it's just a nice, safe feeling raising my kids here. They enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
They graduated from Bucyrus High School. They went on to college and graduated, and they're doing well. It's just things worked out for us.
Let's talk a little bit about the basketball team. What kind of team we got to have this year? I was talking with you.
We got some experienced kids back this year, and we've been playing in the scrimmages, and I would say right now we're still developing things. We've been a little inconsistent in the scrimmages right now. We've had some good quarters and not so good quarters, but
when it's not so good, what is the problem?
Well, turnovers is one.
Okay.
And then I'd say we're not rebounding the ball the way we should. And those are two things that we need to really work on. And but we're getting good shots. Our kids are starting to make more shots now because they're getting the football out of them and get more in a basketball mood. So I think that's going to help us quite a bit.
Is Eddie Dager running the ball up the court and trying to knock a few people down when he's going to the basket?
Yeah, he does. We used to have a take charging drill sometimes. I tell those guys that play football, like Dylan Lanker and Mike Wise and Eddie and a few other football players we had. He says, you're hitting each other harder here in basketball than you ever did in football, and take the charge drill. But I'm just kidding with them and having a good time.
All right. One of the things you talk about, rebound. In all the time that I've been in Bucyrus Redmond, for some reason, find it very difficult to find anybody 6'5" or bigger. Now, it's happened once in a while.
Yeah.
But, last one I can remember was Adam Stone, and he had all kinds of health problems and, was unable to live up to the 6'8" standing. We have never had that big post player.
We had one when Adam Stone, the big kid that played for us, is about 6'7".
He had some health issues.
Yeah, then the year Todd Martin was a coach here, we won the league. We had not real big post players, about 6'2" or 6'3", but we had 4 good post players, and that really made a difference for us at that time.
Schiefer, right?
Isaac Schiefer's on.
Yeah, he's a doctor up in Toledo now, where he teaches.
He's working for the University of Toledo in the science department. I don't know exactly if he's a doctor, but he might be. And then we had Brandon Morris, Doug Tima, Tammy Tima's son.
Yeah.
He's down at Dublin now coaching football.
Yeah.
And then we had Todd Barker, I'm sorry. He joined the
Davey
Davey.
too. Yeah.
And we had 4 real good post players along with Joey Klein and some other kids that made a big difference in our program at that time.
And back in '03, that was the NCC championship year. And,
Yeah, it was.
Still got to thank Ontario for knocking off, or no, Buckeye Central for knocking off Ontario.
Yeah, I remember that.
Back then.
We were at Riverdale, we won the game, then we heard that Buckeye Central beat Ontario, and we celebrated there and had a good time. But, we just, as you said, we walk the hallways, we don't see that. Anybody like 6'7" or 6'8" right now in our school system.
All right. What do you expect on this team, Coach?
Well, I think what every coach is going to tell you, we expect to take the court every night, to play hard, play good defense. I mean, nobody can really stop us from playing good defense, and I think rebounding the ball and taking care of the ball and working as a team. I mean, you talk to any coach, and they'll tell you the same thing I'm telling you. It's just, there's nothing to do with the game of basketball. You got to do the fundamental things well. You got to rebound, like I said, play defense, hit some shots, and see
What
how
kind of
things
total
go.
numbers do we have?
The numbers we have?
Yeah, total numbers.
We have 18 kids when they're all healthy, JV and varsity combined.
All
This
right.
year we don't have a freshman team.
All right. Is that something you'd like to have?
Well, of course, we'd always like to have that, but it's just, we don't have a lot of kids on the freshman class playing sports.
All right.
They only had about 4 or 5 freshmen playing football, and we got 1 playing basketball.
All right, so he's on the JV team.
Yeah.
All right. Let's talk a little bit about the league. We're in the N10. Who's the teams to beat? And where do you see yourself?
Well, if you ask me to rate them, I would say Crawford and Cary would be top 2, but Cary's getting a late start now because of the success they're having in football.
Sure.
But I don't know how many of those kids play basketball and play football. I'm sure there's a few of them. And they moved some of the games back. They rescheduled back later in the year because of the success they're having in the playoffs. But I would say Crawford and Cary, Upper Sandusky should be pretty good.
They usually are.
And then after that, we could be right in the mix, I think. There's about 4 or 5 teams, Mohawk, Bucyrus, Wentford, City East, all about in the same mix. Depends how you play that night.
All right. Sounds real good. We're going to break for just a second, and we've got a couple of guys here. Eddie Dager, who's been a regular, and he comes just for the food, right, Eddie?
Of course.
Yeah. And we also have Colton Middleton, who's been here in the past with the basketball program. We'll talk to these guys a little bit about the basketball program, their career, and details, and that all comes up in just one moment. Our show brought to you by Lee Plymel and Brad Seibert at the Plymel Insurance Group, Bucyrus and Gallia. Also, Hannah Newton at Wendy's, downtown Bucyrus and Upper Sandusky, North Central State College, Mansfield, and the Crawford Success Center, Bucyrus. Vince Ponziani and everybody at Waycraft Industries. Rod Steiger at Pizza Hut, Bucyrus and Gallia, the host of our show since 1992. And the Burkhart family. Burkhart Farm Sales, your Case IH dealer. Farmers serving farmers on the Manette Winchester Road. And I'm going to move this microphone down here to our old buddy Eddie Digger, who knows exactly how to, well, I hope it was breaking up for a second. There, okay, you got it. You got enough?
Yeah, we're
good.
good.
Let's see. Straighten it out just a little bit here. Do some
There we go.
engineering.
We're
There
good.
you go. You're good?
Yep.
All right. Eddie, you've been playing all kinds of sports at Bucyrus High School. I know football. I know basketball. You do anything this spring?
I also run track.
You run track. All
Yes,
right.
sir.
Let's talk a little about basketball season. You know, Coach mentioned it, and I was teasing you about it beforehand. Have you transitioned well from your football to your basketball?
Yeah, I've somewhat transitioned, but I'm still kind of playing like a football player. I need to transition more to basketball, get a little more agile.
All right, so you need to use your head instead of your brawn a little bit more. Is
Yeah,
that fair?
yeah.
Right? Have you been doing that?
Yeah, I practice. I have been.
All right, and yeah, you're not trying to run people over.
Not as much.
Not as much, but you didn't start out that way. Huh?
Yeah.
All right. Where do you see yourself this year? You had a reasonably successful year. Last 2 years. Where do you see yourself? How much can you grow as a senior?
I mean, I can grow as much as anyone else can, but I'm just trying to do my part, do my role, and so we can win games.
What is your role?
Come off the bench, play defense.
Come off of that.
And
Okay.
get rebounds.
How about shooting the ball? Is that a big priority? Because you don't get any points by not shooting the ball.
I mean, we have a lot of shooters on the team. A lot of people would say I'm not the best shooter, so
All right.
I try to do all the fundamental things and get better at those.
All right. So you want to play some defense and grab some rebounds. You're not tall. I mean, you're strong, but how tall are you?
6 foot.
Are you?
Yeah.
So how does a 6-foot guy get rebounds in a league that's got 6'4", 6'5" guys all over?
I gotta put my forearm on their stomach, move them out the way.
Back to the football again, huh?
Yep. Gotta move them out the way.
All right, but not get caught either.
Yeah, no fouls.
No fouls. All right. If you have the ball, are you able to drive the lane at all?
Yeah, because I'm a lot stronger than a lot of other players, so
Alright.
it's easy for me to get around.
Alright.
And also, most teams have post players on me because I kind of play in the post.
Alright.
And I'm faster. I'm one step quicker than most of them.
All right, so quickness will outdo a guy who's maybe 4, 5, 6 inches taller than you are.
Yep.
All right, good for you, buddy. I hope you have a nice season. Thanks for coming by.
Thank you.
You got also right next to you, Colton Middleton. Colton's been here before. I remember the name. And Colton, what positions do you play on the team?
I'm a guard and I can play the post.
All right, you can't play. Well, how big are you?
What?
How big are you?
About 6 foot.
6 foot. So again, coach, we're getting back to 6 foot posts again, you know. And as a post player, when you're playing in the N10, and you got some schools that have kids who are 6'4", 6'5", 6'6", how do you play in the post and expect to get rebounds when you got guys who are 4 to 6 inches taller than you?
You have to have good positioning. You have to be strong. You have to be able to move them out of the way so you can grab that board.
All right. And how successful can you be at that this year? Can they teach that, or is it just something that's instinctive?
Some of it's taught. Some of it's you have to know how to be able to do it. You have to want to grab the rebound.
All right.
It's something that,
What would you say the best part of your basketball game is?
I can shoot
All right. And where's your favorite shot?
the three. I
The
like
three.
to
So
shoot.
you're a perimeter shooter then.
Yeah.
All right. Where do you see this basketball team going this year?
Well, my goal is to win a sectional championship. We've never won a sectional championship, so as a senior, that would be the main thing. But I think we can be like in the top mix of the league and come out and play every game.
All right. I appreciate you stopping by, young man, and continued success this year. Okay.
Thank you.
Pass that microphone down, and we'll segue it right back over here to Phil Joseph. And Phil, we're going to talk to you in just a second. I need to let people know that we're brought to you part by Light Friedley and Todd McDougal at Friedley and Company Insurance up in New Washington. Ted Coder, Monarch Body Shop, the pride of Dutchtown. Also, the Ohio State University at Marion, a Big Ten education close to home. Mike Kleinite, Ag Credit, Residential Lending, Bucyrus, Mount Gilead and Marion, and Dr. Thomas M. Britton at Clubview Vision Center, and Luann Krebs, Rivers Edge Embroidery, Screen Printing, and Signs, the official foam board t-shirt provider, and they're on Route 309 right across from the Marion Depot. Coach, Let's talk a little bit about the first games coming up. You're still a couple weeks away. Girls start this Friday. I'm not sure if Bucyrus will start this Friday, but women's basketball starts this Friday. We got some basketball games on the radio.
That's right. Bucyrus girls open up November 29th. It's a Monday, the same night we.
Really? And you're not playing till Monday?
The girls aren't. We're playing Monday, November 29th against Ridgedale.
That's Bucyrus boys.
The boys are playing at Ridgedale that night, and the girls are playing at Northmore.
Okay, so both teams are playing on Monday night.
Yeah.
That weekend beforehand, when everybody else is playing, what the heck are you guys doing?
Our previous AD set it up that way.
The previous AD, and then she left.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know why she did it that way.
Okay, I'm sitting here wondering, and I feel a little bit of tension when you tell me that. Like, what the hell was she thinking?
Well, you have to ask her. I don't know what she was thinking. But we'll be ready to play, and we've had some scrimmages. We got one more, so we'll be a big one Friday night down at Centerburg. It's going to be Clear Fork, Centerburg, and us. We're going to play down there.
All right. Your first game is Monday the 29th, which means we got both boys and girls. We're probably going to have swimming and wrestling on that night here at Pizza Hut. And you'll have that game on, probably those games will be on the radio Monday
Yeah,
night.
it'll be on. I'm sure it'll be on one of the stations.
Yeah, so it sounds really good. What do you see yourself, Coach, this year? I mean,
The N10.
yeah.
I think we can be.
You mentioned Crawford. you
Okay.
mentioned-
First of all, the N10's a good league. It's pretty competitive. It's a well-coached league, and teams get after each other pretty good in that league. I can see us finishing the upper half. I'm not going to say here we're going to win a championship or not. That's our goal. And like Colton just said, our goal is to win the championship and then win a sectional and go from there. But of course, you plan on winning every game. You try to win every game. But I think if we get in the top four, it means we have to win some regular season games and win some non-league games. That would give us a better seed in the tournament to go to the sectional too. So I think we can be in the top four if we play well and do things like we're supposed to.
You've seen steady improvement over the last couple of years, haven't you? I mean, I think you've only 2 games, 2 years, but you increased that, you doubled up last year. Is 8 to 10 out of line?
I don't know about that, but I do know we're getting better, and our program's getting better. We talked about Coach Diggin does a real good job with them, and we got Coach Pat O'Connor. He's like our JV coach, and we got a young guy Brian Hargis helping us out at the high school level. So we think we're getting better. Like Eddie said, we had different goals, and he said he comes off the bench. Well, we haven't determined that yet. He may be a starter. Colton, Eddie does a lot of things well. Colton's one of the better shooters we've had. He's going to get a lot of playing time, but we don't know if he's going to be a starter again or not. We're experimenting a lot in this in our scrimmages.
He's still got a couple weeks to work with.
Yeah, so you never know what's going to happen. You got injuries. Of course, right now you got to fight the virus and stuff like that. You never know what's going to happen.
All right. Coach, good luck this year. Thank you very much for sharing some time with us. Gentlemen, you too, guys. I appreciate your time. We're going to be talking with Buckeye Central coming up next on the Coaches Show from Pizza Hut on WQEL YouTube. This is Davey Jones, and we'll be back in just one moment.